And to me, I think we have a practical solution here. And I will make a motion to amend later, maybe say that the waiver be developed by the meal plan waiver committee so that it's kind of all wrapped in nicely. And then also too, just to Megan said, you can prove your support. I mean, last night at the Student Life Awards, we just had a former senator and GSC president have an award named after her for supporting LGBT services. So you can absolutely prove your support in these matters just the same way you can prove your obedience, etc. And we even had the wording in there that it's scrutiny, etc., etc. And I think one other question too, I don't know the situation. You know, if the situation was just slightly different, and let's say that we kind of, that Chick-fil-A was kind of engaged in really nasty practices against its chickens. They were abusing them or torturing them or lighting their wings on fire with their live, that sort of thing. I mean, the thing is, we would probably be here today having a discussion about, I hope we would, because that would be awful. So, I mean, this isn't quite as drastic as that, but you can see where people would certainly be morally opposed to that type of practice. So that's why I think it is so important for us to consider in here as well.
John? All right, I support the message. Like I think we've all said, the opt-out part simply does not work. Everyone will do it. If the only thing you have to do is say that you're a part of an RSO, then everyone can do that. What does the meal plan waiver committee do when they approve some and deny some? If, assuming that they do deny some, otherwise everyone would be approved and no one would have a meal plan. And then how would you justify denying it when they come back and appeal it? Because if the rule is if you morally support, if you're morally opposed to something, then you can get out of the meal plan, then that's just a slippery slope for any argument that anyone wants to pose. Like Sarah's resolution with the hummus, she didn't want to get out of the meal plan because she disagreed with this brand. Instead, she wanted other options. That's what we passed. We've got other options. You can eat anywhere else besides Chick-fil-A with your meal plan money. So if we're trying to make a statement, let's just focus on making a statement and not doing something that will never, ever work. And I'm not even sure that if it did go into effect that it would be a good thing. I think that we should also consider, like some people have said, representing the entire student voice, we have no idea how they feel about this. But I do know from dining service surveys that it is, if not the most popular place on campus, one of them. So of course we're not taking away money, but if we would, then that would be a problem. But since we're not taking away money, we're not actually doing anything. We're just kind of talking about sending a statement. So that's why I don't really see what the big deal is about it. If we take out the opt-out and it's just a statement, then sure, I would support that. But as it is, I don't see any reason to pass it. I'll be happy to take it to the Sodexo people and talk to them about it and maybe say that we don't support it, but in practice it doesn't do anything.
Paul, you're next.
Two things. First, really quick, I just want to address what John said, is that we're not talking about the students who shop at Chick-fil-A, we're talking about the ones who don't and want their money. They can choose not to shop there, but their leftover money can still go there, and that's what we're fighting. That's the voice that's been silenced. Second, I'm just going to have my name on it, I want to take your word and get there further at all. Can I give a review?
Yes, sir.
Alternatively, Sodexo agrees to allow students to prevent their leftover money. Yes. Prevent their leftover meal plan money. Yeah, student meal money is fine. From benefiting Chick-fil-A. Provided they have signed a waiver. Stay with us. Then student government will no longer accept. And then at the end say that this waiver will be developed by, leave that one. Yeah, there we go. And then at the end of that, say this waiver will be developed by the student meal plan waiver committee. And then under the second to get further involved, I just want to, we just hold it say the student SGA services vice president for the 2011-2012 year. Because I figured out the way on the UA on. There's no point in saying this meeting. 2012. Yes, thank you.
Curtis, you were next.
I would like all the wording now, and I mean, this is something I can tell you, even I'm planning on supporting and going and talking to Sodexo myself next year. And furthermore, the Senate's job is to help pass resolutions so that we can have a credible ground to stand on. If I go to Sodexo next year without this passing and saying, oh, well, students disagree with Chick-fil-A on moral grounds, then I have nothing to go back on and say, well, this is actually passed by the Senate. They stood up for the minority group on campus that has, stated time and time again that they're against this. Then it leaves the top 4 exec branch whenever we go to these meetings without any credibility. So this actually does establish credibility on those grounds, that we have something that we can show to them and say, how can we work with you? So that's just what I want to say. Please pass this so that I have this next year whenever I go to Sodexo to talk.
Kim?
I just had one comment about the feasibility of Sodexo accepting this. The alternative suggestion, I think, is something that Sodexo would probably seriously consider. So I think we give them both the options, and that's a good thing.
Paul, you're next.
Call the previous question.
Okay, we're voting to vote. So, all those in favor of moving to the previous question, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we are voting on this resolution as it is on the screen. All
I'm
in
going to call
favor-
for a rising vote in advance. Sorry. This is
Okay.
potentially going to be close, maybe.
All right, so now roll call.
Yeah, just hands.
Okay,
That's what I meant.
all in favor, please raise your hand.
Oh, never mind.
All opposed? Okay, it looks like it's passed. We'll move to the next agenda item. Approval of the April 5th, 2011 Senate meeting minutes. I need a motion on the floor. Second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Yes, sir.
So I would like one line removed. We voted to include a roll call vote in the minutes. It was not included. I'm fine with it not being included. However, it states that it was included. So it's the line, the vote that was included in the minutes, see above, exclamation point. I would just like that one line scratched. Is there a second?
If you
4 maybe? No, not 4. Okay, 11. I was off, or 10. I was way off, sorry.
It was one of those numbers.
Assuming that's what you're moving, I'd like to move the question.
Okay, all in favor of, I'm just going to do it, we don't have to vote. So, all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Noted. Do it. We'll move to the discussion of appropriations requests.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the single appropriations request.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Okay, actually, this is the one from 2 weeks ago that they submit. We told them that we would wait and then make the decision. In these 2 weeks, they were voted on and approved. It is the SAAB's travel fund request for their national conference for $750. For anyone who is curious, there is currently somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000 left in the appropriations budget, so we have more than enough to cover this. There's my discussion.
Is there any further discussion on the appropriations request? Seeing none, we'll move to the question. All in favor of approving the appropriations request for tonight's meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Okay, they are approved. Discussion of the student organizations board request. Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 7 RSOs that came out of SOB.
Is there any discussion?
Sure, why not? All right, the 7 are Surgery Club, Dodgeball Club, Cards United, Cards United for Disability Awareness, Alpha Omega Dental Fraternity, Global Health Interest Group, Medical Students for Choice, and the Tai Chi Club.
Is there any further discussion? Yes.
Was Solar Decathlon not on that list?
They were passed last week as AKA twins.
Oh, okay.
Any others? Yes.
If any of these RSOs are still here, I'd like to thank them for sticking around to get that.
Is anybody still here?
Yeah.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to the question. All in favor of approving the 7 student organization board requests, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? They are passed. Then you get the certificates of the 1 RSO.
Yeah.
Take
Are you
3.
gonna leave? Are you staying? Are you leaving? Are you staying or
Yes.
leaving?
I can get the dodgeball club.
Okay. I'm not getting.
No,
What organization are you with, Latasha?
Cards United for Disability Awareness.
No, we'll get them.
Yeah. Oh, there are? Okay. Alpha Omega Dental Fraternity. Alright. Medical Students for Choice. Tai Chi Club.
Which group are you with? I'm with we were approved last time. We were told we had to show up for 1 meeting a month, so. What?
Who told you that?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, it's not true.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. Dodgeball Club.
Here, I'll take that one.
And yeah, I already got her. And we're good.
Okay, we'll move on to the Supreme Court appointments. E-Board met last week to discuss these as well, and they were all approved, but I will let President Apari get up and introduce the suggested appointments.
May I have the appointees that are here? Can you guys come down and sit here and answer questions? I think only 2 of them. We have Brandon McReynolds being considered for Chief Justice for the Supreme Court and Doug Russo for Justice for the College of Business. And Brad Hall is a law student being considered for law, and he could not be here tonight. E-Board discussed these appointments and they're approved. If there are any E-Board members who would like to comment on the justices, feel free to do so at any point. I'm going to go ahead and start by telling you the reasons why I made the decision to appoint these as the justices. As you guys know, while the sentiments to remove each justice from the court was not shared among all of us and among us in the executive branch, I think that we all agreed that there were some wrongdoings and the court could have done a better job. I wanted to let you know that my disappointments with the court did not start during elections. They began when I stepped into office after making multiple attempts to have outreach with them. The attendance was extremely poor. Throughout the year, the executive branch made several attempts to talk with the court about their role during elections, and I can speak on behalf of my staff, and we were extremely disappointed with the poor job that they did with the money that we allocated towards the court. So some people ask why I made the decision to appoint the Chief Justice from outside the court. Well, I haven't been happy with the court. So I to appoint Brandon McReynolds for Chief Justice, because I think he'll bring the leadership that the court needs. I think that